officially start today's event, it is our honor to invite respected Head of the Department of Ecology and Environmental Science, Dr. S.M. Sundarapandian, to deliver the welcome speech.
Good morning to everyone. Revered Vice Chancellor, learned Dean, School of Life Sciences, and colleagues, my dear student friends and research scholars. It is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the validatory function of Wildlife Week. This week has been a remarkable journey of learning, sharing, inspiring action towards the conservation of our precious wildlife. We are deeply honored to have with us today a distinguished guest, Professor Tharanikkarasu, the Vice Chancellor of Pondicherry University. So his presence here today highlights the importance of academic leadership in promoting environmental awareness and conservation efforts. I thank our Vice Chancellor for accepting our invitation for Wildlife Week in spite of his busy schedule. This shows his immense commitment in promoting department developmental activities. On behalf of Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences, on my own behalf, I welcome you, sir, for this function. I warmly welcome to Professor Selvin, Director, Research Developmental Cell, and at present Dean in Charge, School of Life Sciences. He supports all activities in the for the department in various capacities. I welcome Professor Srinivasa Murthy, Head, Department of Earth Sciences, for his support to do the held the function in Earth Science Seminar Hall and as well as other cooperations. Wildlife has provided us with an opportunity to reflect on incredible biodiversity that surrounds us and the vital role it plays in maintaining the balance of our ecosystems. From the majestic tiger to roam our forest to the vibrant birds to color our skies. Each species contributes to the rich tapestry of life on earth. As we conclude these week activities, let us remember that the protection of wildlife is not just the responsibility of conservationists and environmentalists, but of each one of us. Our actions, no matter how small, can make a significant impact on the preservation of our natural heritage. Throughout this week, we have engaged a series of events and activities aimed at to educating and inspiring everyone to take action for wildlife conservation. From informative talks by Dr. Robin from Venkateswara College of Delhi University and Anuj from IISc, nature walks, street play, wildlife photographic competitions, painting competition and quiz competitions, etc. We have all had a chance to learn, share and be inspired. I encourage you all to carry forward the knowledge and passion you have gained this week. Let us use this momentum to deepen our understanding of the challenges faced by wildlife and to explore the ways in which we can contribute to their protection. In conclusion, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all the volunteers and participants who have made this event possible. Your dedication and passion for wildlife conservation are truly commendable. I place my special thanks to the Wildlife Week Coordinator, Sivakumar, for taking these initiations. And a special thanks to our esteemed chief guest, Professor Tharanikkarasu, for gracing us with your presence and for your unwarming support to cause wildlife conservation. Let us work together to ensure that future generations can continue to marvel at the beauty and diversity of our natural world. Thank you, and I wish you all wonderful and enlightened conclusion to Wildlife Week. Thank you, one and all.
Very good morning, everybody. First of all, let me thank the Vice Chancellor and Pondicherry University, Dean School of Life Science, and Head of the Department Ecology and Environmental Science. Are all of you aware that we have been celebrating the Wildlife Week? Entire country is celebrating the Wildlife Week. This is a National Wildlife Week celebration. You also know the background of this celebration. It started from 1952 as a day, Wildlife Day, to mark the great Atma of our country, Gandhiji birthday. Because who believed on the Ahimsa, who also loved all the living forms on the earth. That is the reason we started that day. And then after some time, or 1957 onwards, we started celebrating as a week, National Wildlife Week, starting from the 2nd October. Normally it ends on the 8th October. Accordingly, we fixed the program till October, and then today we are closing this Wildlife Week celebration. It doesn't mean that we are not going to take care of the wildlife. We should actually celebrate the wildlife for every day throughout the year or throughout our life. So, but this year, the Government of India put this theme for this particular year, Wildlife Week, is the wildlife conservation and coexistence. So that is what I am going to talk with you for next 20 minutes about what is this meaning, why Government of India chosen this particular topic on this. Coexistence means living with other. Okay, so we can live. We live with our parents, we live with our brothers, sisters, wife, husband, children. We love each other, but still we quarrel each other also, because the affection, fight is all part of the life, but still we coexist in the family. Okay, that is one type of the coexistence. So when you can see this picture, two tigers are fighting each other, they love each other also. That is the one coexistence. Then the another kind of coexistence is that we live with other animals apart from our family. Similarly, this tiger, they live with other co-predator, because they are the enemies or competitor, not enemies, a competitor. Can be a leopard, it can be a jackal, it can be a dhole. This is the pictures which you are seeing. The tiger is actually annoyed by the toothed dhole. It's a wild dog, we call them. This is also called coexistence. Both don't like each other, but still live together. That is the coexistence, nature says. And the third level of coexistence is a very interesting existence, where the tiger is the predator which prey upon the deer, but both are living together. That is the third level of coexistence. One can see it on the earth actually, where the deer know that they will be getting killed by the tiger, but still we find the tiger and the deer in the same forest for long period, millions of years they are living together. This is the third level of coexistence which is happening. But now coming to this, which are seeking the deers are there, but now the problem started. We encroach their habitat in a bigger level. We started development, all those things, and their habitat. That leads to the animals coming out of the protected habitat, getting interface with the human, creating a conflict. You can read any day, even today, there are 3-4 incidents of human-wildlife conflict. Many people died. Every day, minimum 10 people getting killed by wild animals in India. Now, I am not including the snake bite. Snake bite is a different issue. So you can see these pictures in the top, where the tiger was cornered by the local community because of the fear, because we can't live with them. That is a feeling they're getting it. But below two pictures you can see the one man carrying the fuel wood. He lives inside the forest. The same forest, the next tiger is also living in. So this is another way of coexistence. So the people have been living with or coexist with the wildlife for long time in our country. But the problems are there. That intolerance or a tolerance level is going, it's a declining in the humanity. And because of that, it leads to the huge human-wildlife conflict in the world actually, including India. So this is the reason why this week we are celebrating and reiterating the point that once upon time, the ancestor of India lived in a principle, it's called Vasudhaiva Kudumbam. That is that the ancient Indians treated this entire planet as a one family that includes as a living forms. So they say that we are all family member. Whether it's a plant, butterfly, elephant, tiger or human, doesn't matter, all of them are family. This is what the ancient Indian, Yadum Mure Yavarum Keli. You must have heard these terms from Tamil literature thousands of years before written in these things. It's treating that everybody's are my kins, all are one family. But in ancient India, some dialect says that it's Vasudev Kudumbam. It's not only the human being, all are our friends, our kins, even all living organisms are our family. This is what our tradition, which we have been following it, somewhere in between we forgotten this tradition, and because of that getting into the lot of conflicts in the country. So now coming back to this, apart from the theme. So all of you are, our Vice Chancellor has been talking about achieving this SDG goal, the role of Pondicherry University in each and every goal. In fact, all 17 goals, the university playing a critical role in that. Although some may say that your roles are restricted to the quality education of the 4, but I don't agree with that. In fact, we provide input in all the SDGs. But what is this SDG? The core objective of this SDG is to remove the poverty in the human. That's it. No one should sleep without a food. Nothing else. That is what the overall objective of the SDG. To achieve this objective, there are certain goals are developed. Very important thing is, if you can see in this picture, extreme left side, 1 and 2, that is eradication of poverty and zero hunger. If you look at the extreme right side, the 14 and 15, that is related to the biodiversity or wildlife, whatever you can say. So, if you take care of this 14 and 15, you can remove the 1 and 2. Remaining goals are facilitating goal only. Please keep in mind. All other goals are facilitating goal, making sure that 14 and 15 are achieved. But many people forget that. Because somebody working on technology claimed that technology is the foremost. But that is not. It's not need to argue which subject is more. All are equally important. But this technology should help us for taking care of the 14 and 15. Then only these 14 and 15 only can take care of the 1 and 2. Because 1 and 2 need food. Food is biodiversity. So we cannot eat a technology. We cannot eat artificial intelligence. We cannot eat money or gold. So this is what the very important things. In these aspects, these two, life below water, life on the water, we are taking care. In India, all of you know that I don't want to read all these things. We have about 150,000 fauna and flower, plant and animal species in the country. So this is the latest records which we have it in our country. But when you talk about a wildlife, elephant, traditionally we are connected to the elephant which came from Southeast Asia to Indian subcontinent just after the continent trip. We have about 35,000 elephants in the country. The nearest elephant one can see it in a Mudumalai forest in our country. The tiger. All of us talks about tiger. We are proud of having a tigers in the country because we have about 4,000 tigers in the wild. The largest population of tigers occurs in India. Almost more than 80% of the tigers lives in India. Again, tigers are distributed almost larger portion of our country. When you take care of the tiger, we believe that other entire biodiversities will be taken care. Gair lions. Amazing animal. Though the tiger occurs the larger portion of the country, but gair lions occurs in the small pocket of our country in the Gujarat. There's a gair. We have about 700 lions. And recently, our Honorable Prime Minister shown a personal interest in bringing the cheetah to India. Once upon a time, we had a cheetah, gone extinct. Now we got reintroduced the cheetah from African population. This is the first intercontinental relocation of any wildlife in anywhere in the world. So that credit goes to the our Honorable Prime Ministers. And then these are the animals which you may not seen it. Like if you want to see the wild ass, because as you know very well, donkey. But these are the origin, the ancestor of the donkeys which you have it in the world. This occurs in the Ladakh or occurs in the Ran of Kutch in the Gujarat regions. This is a beautiful animal. The deer species, the favorite food of the tiger. This is called a sambar deer. We have it wherever tigers are there in our country. Rhino, all of you know, we have it in the northeast and Uttar Pradesh area. We have about 4,000 rhinos in the country, especially India and Nepal. India itself, we have around 2,500. Leopards are everywhere. And I'm sure that leopard must have been here in Pondicherry also, maybe about 70-80 years before, because we have leopards in Viluppuram district, in several packets of the forest in Viluppuram district, but not in a Puducherry region. So far we reported highly adaptable animal lives in the human habitation also, get into conflict in a bigger level in the country. This is another beautiful, wonderful animal that occurs only in the southern part of our western Ghats, lion-tailed macaque. The population is a decline, it's a rainforest species. The gaur, it's another, people normally call them as a bison. This is not a bison, it's a gaur. It occurs in larger portion of our country. And then another interesting animal, all of you, love dogs, and we also love dogs, but the thing is we cannot love all the dogs, actually not always. So we have a problem in our campus. The street dogs are creating a lot of problem, but the ancestor for all the dogs are the dhole. There's a wild dogs that we have it in our country, but unfortunately they are not doing very well. And then so many other interesting animals. This is the one animals, maybe our students may be knowing it, many may not be aware of that. This is the Nicobar megapode that occurs in the Nicobar group of islands that don't build a nest, they build a nest on the ground. You can see the left side, there is a mound nest. This is a unique bird that occurs only in Nicobar group of islands in the world. So such kind of a beautiful, interesting endemic species we have it in the world, apart from some common species like a civet, we have it in the campus. Mongoose, all of you know that. Monitor lizard you might be knowing because it occurs everywhere in Pondicherry. And hare, again another, somebody says a rabbit, it's not rabbit, it's a hare that occurs in our campus. And then lot of birds, so many birds, about 160 species. One of my students going to talk about, Mr. Achyuta going to present the campus biodiversity very soon. He will talk more details about that. That is the reason India has such a rich biodiversity. That's why we call the one of the mega biodiversity in the country. The beauty of the country is like a people of the India. Indian it's a diverse community, starting from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, Nagaland to Gujarat, where you can find the different kinds of people with a different culture, food habit, dressing sensation, language, etc. Similarly, that wildlife also differs from one region to another region. Like that, we classified the India into 10 big regions where we have a unique biodiversity complex in each region. For example, Himalaya is a colder region where you can get the musk deer. These highly perfumes, actually the scent what we use it is one of the most expensive perfumes in the world, which is actually comes from the musk deer. Musk deers are killed for that clan, which is prohibited now. There are beautiful rivers originating from the Indus. Almost 50 crore people of India depend on the water resource from the Himalaya. So the beautiful rivers, but this river also beautiful for the wildlife. There are aquatic animals that lives in these regions. And then moving to the desert, another beautiful landscape we have it in our country where we can see wild ass or so many blackbird, for example. All of you know that Salman Khan was arrested by killing this animal. So this is a blackbird and such kind of wonderful animals one can see where we can find the great Indian bustard. Used to be the national bird of India, but unfortunately because of its name, it is shifted to the peafowl, actually peacock. Otherwise, great Indian bustard was the chosen for our national park. Used to occur up to Andhra Pradesh in the earlier days. Now we have only 200 individuals. That is a very saddest part. Big animal, big birds living on the ground is endemic to India. We are losing it, but government of India doing an extremely extraordinary job to recovering this species, having a very innovative technology. They are adopting it. They're soon going to bring back this species. I'm sure it will happen. Then our nearest Western Ghats. Western Ghats is a monsoon mountain of the world because this is the only mountain in the world which decide on the monsoon pattern of any given region in the world actually. Such a wonderful landscape with heavy rain, a lot of wildlife there. Lion-tailed macaque, Nilgiri tar, wild dog, elephant, gaur, tiger, so many actually we can talk about the species. Then moving to the Deccan Peninsula, the central part of our country, again highest number of population of the elk, tiger, bear, all those animals are occurs in that. Of course, in Gangetic regions where you can find the Gangetic dolphin, the national aquatic animals of our country. So the present government is giving a lot of attention to recover the Ganges, because Ganges is our holy river. If you want to recover the river, and now they're focusing more on the wildlife which is living in the Ganges. So trying to recover the wildlife in the Ganges so that the Ganges will be recovered automatically. So thousands of crores are spent in this particular program. And then marine, like our terrestrial system, in a marine also we have a beautiful marine animals like whales and dolphins, sea turtle, corals, so many animals are living there. One of these animals is called a dugong. We call them as a God's own cow. And this animal actually lives in Gujarat, Tamil Nadu and Andaman. But again, this God's own curve was put down actually. We couldn't save this species for a longer period. The population once upon a time 40,000 individual in by 1940s, but now we have only 300, less than 300 individuals in the country. So we started, again Government of India started the new program to recover it. I was leading this program since 2006. There are some threats are identified and the programs are started and a lot of achievements are there. I just giving a snapshot only, how government is actually acting upon that. So in that, if you see that the research and monitoring is the key component for recovery or conservation of any biotouch species which occurs on the earth. So you are going to do the research and monitoring. So keep it in mind that the research is a very, very important aspect when you want to actually help the conservation of wildlife in the country. And then sea turtles. India again having this is the sea turtle that occurs in India is called olive ridley, the smallest sea turtle, around 40 kg weight. We have about 10 to 15 lakhs turtles are living in our country. Most of them are comes to the Orissa coast to nest. You can see this picture is the moss nesting ground in the Orissa, where we can get around 5 to 7 lakhs turtles come and nest in a 1 week period. Okay, this is the turtle once upon a time was declining at a faster rate. Then again, government of Orissa and government of India joined hand and then conserved it. Actually, we protected these turtles very nicely in the country, but problems are continuing. We have been talking about the plastic. Plastic is a big problem. And these problems are there everywhere. In fact, university also taking a lot of measures to bring down the plastic usage inside the campus. But this is a nuisance. This nuisance killing millions of animals in the earth actually, including the sea animals. You can see the sea turtles are drowned by the host net plastics that are there. So again, government come up with new policies to help the animals which needs conservation measures. You can see these beautiful beaches that is actually this located in the Havelock Island in Andaman. You no need to go to the Hawaii or some other country to see the beautiful beaches. We do have a beautiful, wonderful beaches, but provided we keep it in clean. But the crowds are there, and the more crowds leads to the more plastic pollution. Then if you remove this, what government wanted, we need a more beaches called blue flag beaches. Luckily, we have one it in Pondicherry, that is called Eden Beach. Similarly, we have another 9 beaches in the country, but we need hundreds of beaches should be converted into the blue flag, provided we keep this environment neat and clean. Again, Pondicherry University again and again participate in the Swachh Bharat kind of program. We go to the coastal area, clean it, but it is not, should not be the one day affair. Every day we should have a conscious mind and throwing even a wrapper of the chocolate. Okay, so that create a problem. If you throw one wrapper of the chocolate in that, and I've seen that our own lab, people throw a lot of plastics and outside the through the window. These are not the good habit. We should stop it so that we can keep the environment clean. If we keep it, we can see such a beautiful world in the country. And then northeast, another very important landscape where we have the white buffalo. White buffalo is the ancestor of all the buffaloes in the world actually, that is originated from India. So India gave a lot to the world community, including the chicken. Whoever eating the chicken should thankful to the India, because the ancestor of the chicken is originated from the Indian species. It's called a red jungle fowl. Similarly, the white buffalo. This occurs in the central Indian of our country, which gave birth to all the domestic buffalo occurs in the world. Problems are there. We analyzed the problems for the biodiversity in all the landscape in the country. We listed out, and then we have started doing our problem. Just for one small quick example, we think sometimes it is a good solution to solve some problem, but that solution later will become a problem. For example, why I am telling, I will come to the later. This is an island called Borneo. It's one of the Pacific island, very close to Australia. Where in 1950s they had a huge malarial problem. A lot of people are getting killed by malaria. So World Health Organization thought of that the DT is one of the best invention at that time. Sar is there, he himself is a chemistry, he know that DDT was one of the super invention of the human that time actually. When they started using the DDT to control the mosquito, when they started killing the mosquito, along with the mosquito some other insects also got killed. One of the insect is called parasitic wasp in the Borneo. Parasitic wasp is a natural controller of the caterpillar population, means other insect population in the country. When a parasitic wasp was killed, other insects, caterpillar population started increasing. These caterpillars are started eating the thatched hut, because Borneo those days, even in India 1950, many houses are thatched house. Even in the Pondicherry, 90% houses in 1950 used to be thatched. Till, I remember, till 1985, most of the houses in Puducherry was a thatched house actually. So those thatched houses were eaten by the caterpillar. One problem. The problem not ended there. Another problem started when the insects were killed. The gecko started feeding those dead insects. The DDT was biomagnification, you must have heard that. So the DDT entered in the gecko, then gecko died, gecko was eaten by the cat. And then cat again started dying it because of the contamination of the DDT in their body. When the cat population gone down in the Borneo, rat population increased, and then rat started spreading the plague. Imagine. They want to control the malaria, but then landed with the plague. That is another disease in the Borneo. So this is what the story. For example, in India, to enhance the milk production in the animal husbandry, we use the diclofenac, one chemical, but that chemical now started killing our vultures. And similar invention is a plastic. Plastic, everybody believes that's one of the super invention. Yes, that is correct. But then we misuse the plastic. Now the plastic became a big problem for us. So this is another example. We have to be very careful when you are finding the solution for some problem. Problems are many in Indian wildlife. Most of them are illegal trade, then climate change. Yesterday, I think today one of my colleagues shared in the WhatsApp group about the SDG status in that. I was reading that SDGs. I was really surprised that very soon 140 million people going to be pushed into the below poverty because of the climate change. That is very danger for us. So the climate change affecting everybody, all of us aware of that. It also affects the wildlife. For example, if the temperature increases 1.5 degree, we may lose about 4% of the mammalian species. That is about 200 species going to be died if the temperature increases to the 1.5. If the temperature goes up to 3 degree, then we may lose about 40% of the mammals in the world. So we are looking forward the mass extinction of the species. We should not allow it. Okay? At least we should delay that. That is what one problem we are going to face it. Another thing is a human being. All these problems because of us only. We have 8 billion people in the earth. The human population steadily increasing. We are not much worried about increasing the population. The problem comes here, everybody want to live in a luxurious life. If you look at the GDP is increasing it. When you want to have a luxurious life, then where will get these luxuries? It will actually putting the pressure on the various habitat of the world ecosystem. Okay. Ultimately, the biodiversity is the most affected because of our greediness. So, but then again, government of India, because we by blood, we traditionally show a lot of love with the nature. So the government of India again and again come up with a new program. So this is the one program, and then special program in which I was involved, taking care of the dugong. And then now recently the National Mission on Biodiversity and Human Wellbeing is launched. It is again 4 years old program. We are trying to recover all the biodiversity that occurs in the country with all of us. We means I'm including you also. All of us going to work on this particular national mission to get back it. Again, there is a National Wildlife Action Plan, because many people may not knowing that there is a document. This is a Bible or Bhagavad Gita of the wildlife conservation in the country. It's a 15 years old document. I was very lucky to be part of this committee who developed this National Wildlife Action Plan. And this National Action Plan actually given the roadmap to how to conserve the wildlife in the country. And then there is a National Wildlife Board. It is chaired by none other than our Honorable Prime Minister of the country. That much importance was given to the wildlife of our country. Right now there is a standing committee chaired by the Honorable Minister of Environment, who sits almost every month actually, who taking care of promoting the sustainable development in the country. But coming back to campus, what we are doing it here. As a students, as it belongs to these people, we cannot do much, but we can do little bit. For example, we too have wildlife around us. We have to treat those wildlife with the humble and kind. That's very important. Wild animal, I'm telling, not that animal which is domesticated. I'm not telling you to take care of the dogs or a cats. Dogs and cats can be taken care if we hold it in our house, not in the public places. Okay, but wild animal needs to be taken care. We are living in their habitat. They are also living in our habitat. We should coexist. That is the reason this theme of this particular year is the coexistence coming. I show you this particular picture. I studied this university between 89 to 94. That is the time you can see the top picture. Of course, this construction came once I left from the university. And that landscape you can see mostly a barren land. In fact, it's the entire campus, around 800 hectares of barren land actually. When we came to the administrative block, from the first floor where VCs are sitting, from that floor we can see the sea very nicely. Nothing will be there in between. There are few houses in the seashore, all of them are thatched houses. It is completely barren land, but we converted. Now it looks so beautiful, greenery, and our students could report more than 160 species of birds in this campus. That itself reflect that how university taken care of its campus. Okay, that is one example. We are all here to take care. We should take care of the whatever fauna and flora present in our campus. So with this, I thank you very much. Just for small things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. To shed some light on the rich biodiversity we have within our campus and the importance of preserving it, I would like to invite Achyuta, the student of Department of Ecology and Environmental Science, to share some insights with us.
A very good morning to everyone present here. I am Achyuta, and today I will be presenting on the campus biodiversity. As Shivakumar sir was just saying, we need to conserve the biodiversity. To conserve the biodiversity, the first step is to know the biodiversity. If you don't know it, you can't conserve anything. So the campus, although it looks like plain and inhabited by humans, it does hold a very too much biodiversity, and we will be seeing about that. Let's start with the campus. The campus spans around an area of 800 acres and has native vegetation types, mainly 4: tropical dry evergreen forest, the scrub, and savanna, and the thorn forest. You have seen almost, I think everyone has seen all 4 of these in the campus. You will see patches of these. These are all native vegetation types and which was protected in the campus. And coming to the biodiversity. Plants, we have around 537 species. I'll be going in detail about this a little while later. Around 20 species of mammals, 50 birds, and 13 amphibians, and there are reptiles and all that. We'll go in detail. Biodiversity monitoring, like I was saying, the biodiversity monitoring is to document what you have in the campus in order that you should be able to protect it. If you don't know it, it can't be protected. The first documentation was done in 2010 by Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences, and it was published in these 2 books, Flora of Pondicherry University and Fauna of Pondicherry University. The Flora of Pondicherry University contained detailed monitoring and details of every species of tree, plants that are present in this campus, and the fauna contains the rest of the details, the mammals, birds, amphibians, reptiles, and insects. The books were published in 2010, and based on that, we have started the again biodiversity monitoring in this year. Based on their knowledge, we are starting, because since it has been 15 years, it will have some time. So every year something will change. Nothing is constant in nature. So it will change. So we have started this year in June by Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences, led by Dr. Shivakumar sir, and it is being conducted with the help of students. Starting, the biodiversity monitoring is currently mainly divided into 5 types: mammals, birds, reptiles and amphibians, lepidopterans, that is butterflies and dragonflies, and plants. We have divided so that everyone can work on individual things and that we don't mix this up. Mammals. Let's come to mammals. Almost everyone has seen wild pigs, which are very common in campus, and sometimes even they come towards us. But that's mainly in self-defense. Apart from that, there are various kinds of mammals. More than around 23 kinds of mammals can be seen here, starting with the wild pigs, which don't react that much to human presence, to civets and these rusty spotted cats. Almost no one will have seen these civets and rusty spotted cats. And now we are using these camera traps. Around 4 camera traps are being used to monitor the human presence, mammal presence. Since it does not come in the presence of humans, the camera traps will be triggered when the motion is sensed, so that it will get a picture of the picture of these mammals. without human presence, so that they won't be running away, and we can document it, and we can just collect the data later when we go and retrieve it. For starting, you can see the pictures of those porcupines, jackal, mongoose, and those rusty spotted cat. The crested porcupine. Normally, the porcupine everyone has seen with black and white quills, but this variation is around rusty color. It will have rusty colored instead of white quills. It is called as a rusted porcupine. It's only found in South India. This variation cannot be found in North India, and we have this in our campus. And the rusty spotted cat in bottom right, it was first time documented this year. It was not in the previous list, so the campus biodiversity is increasing. Birds. We have found around 92 species of birds in the previous monitoring as well as in this one, and now is the season for the migratory birds, so you will find new birds when you go it. And the university is in a very special place. It lies between the Karluveli, Osuteri Lake, and the afforested forest in Auroville to its back. So it's surrounded by the vegetations which are favored by most of the animals. Reptiles and amphibians. We have lots of this in the campus and very diversified. We have in amphibians alone we have found around 13 species, and we have around 13 or 15 species of reptiles also. And these reptiles and amphibians become active during the monsoon, highly active, and they will breed during the monsoon. If it comes to amphibians, especially the frogs, every species will have different acoustics, the voice. Just based on the voice, you can identify which frog species it is with a little bit of knowledge. And snakes, it's normally harmless, except these four. This is the big four of India snakes. So basically, the most venomous snakes in India, 4, and we are lucky to have all 4 of these in our campus. But they only bite in self-defense, so there has been no cases of biting. Just they come into the buildings during the monsoon and they are safely released back. Now, in the campus, everyone knows that everyone drives fast, because whenever you leave from somewhere, you are always in a hurry to leave, get there, because the road is empty, you will just speed up. Almost all the students do. So when we do that, the road kills are taking place. Although these images are from somewhere else, this is a common sight during the monsoons in our university. So you might go a little late, but go slow. They won't die. Let's come to Lepidopterans, the butterflies. We have more than 100 species of butterflies in the campus, and they need a unique host plant. Every butterfly will have its own plant that it needs to survive. If it's not there, it will just die off. If we have more than 100 species of butterflies that are thriving here, it is proof that we have rich biodiversity which can support this. Plants, like I was saying earlier, in the flora of Pondicherry University, and even now, we have found that we have around more than 500 species of plants from all 4 native vegetation types. The different vegetation types will have different trees, lianas, shrubs, and herbs. So, like you can see, the borasses and the fig will give you fruits. It is used as a food resource, and even the borasses fruits are used by humans also. The Phoenix pusilla is a special endemic plant to eastern coast of India. It cannot be found anywhere else, and we have this in the university, and we should be protecting it. And of all these 537 species, we have around 66% of it is medicinal herbs. So almost it can be used as healing herb if you know how to do that. And moreover, it needs to be protected, because outside the university it might be exploited too much for its medicinal values and for money. But within the campus, we are protecting it. So conclusion. I just touched briefly on the campus biodiversity, and it is there more than we can realize, or maybe we haven't seen anything. We are just starting the biodiversity monitoring, and we are planning to continue it for a long term. Anyway, when you are going in the campus, just pay a little attention. You might find something very interesting. It might seem plain at first, but just pay a little attention and it will be very interesting in the campus. So we need to conserve this species. Thank you.
Thank you, Achyuta, for throwing light on our biodiverse campus. Now I would like to invite Aritro Bhattacharya to take us through the highlights of the past few days who will give us brief recap on Wildlife Week.
The past 1 week was Wildlife Week 2024, and from our department we conducted various activities, and most important of the of our what we wanted to do was spread awareness amongst every stakeholder of the university, some of them being students, faculties, administrations, and everyone. So let's have a quick recap of what we did for Wildlife Week 2024 Rewild. We started with a street play at Pondicherry shopping complex. So that is one particular area that has many visitors throughout the day. So that was the place, that was the venue for our street play. A street play was conducted by students of our department, where they raised awareness in wildlife tourism. Tourism, so what happens in tourism is people tend to think of they don't really think of wildlife. So when they go visit a national park, they make noises and stuff. They don't really care about what the wildlife they are seeing. But this was a play that was aimed to raise awareness in ecotourism. So if you're going visiting some place, just remember you are going to someone else's place, them being the animals. So enjoy the place, enjoy the nature, but make sure to protect and not harm the animals and the plants. We conducted photography competition. It was held online. We had quite a few entries. We'll have a prize distribution ceremony today, so I'm not revealing the photographs yet. The photographs are also showcased here on the walls. You can see them anytime. One of the highlights of the Wildlife Rewild 2024 was we had two talks, two Wildlife Week talks, one by Dr. Robin Suyes, Assistant Professor, Sri Venkateshwara College, Delhi University. He talked about amphibians. He has over 10 years experience of working with amphibians and their calls, acoustics, and basically their behavior. And then we had Anuj Shinde, who is a young research fellow at IISc Center for Ecological Sciences, Bangalore. He is currently working on shield tails, which is a type of snake, a non-venomous one. Even if it's a venomous one, you don't need to worry. So shield tails are a very less studied taxa, and Anuj is now trying to map the distribution of the shield tails throughout India. And he also believes that the campus might have at least one species of shield tails. Let's see what we can find through our monitoring programs. Coming to film screening is, so movies, media is one of the ways that you can spread awareness amongst people. So we filmed 4 highly wildlife oriented films, starting with Gorillas in the Mist. It's a biography, kind of a documentary on Diane Fossey. She was an anthropologist, American anthropologist who visited Central Africa, Rwanda, and she devoted her life to conserving gorillas who were poached. But the sad part is, while trying all of this, in the end, she was poached. So again, then we screened Shedni. It's about how interconnected the forest department, the local villages, and the wildlife, how they act together and sometimes not together to save a particular species. We had Free Willy. It's about a young kid who gets who connects with an orca, a killer whale, and in a aquatic zoo. And when the zoo authorities decide to kill the whale, the young kid takes the matter into his own hands and frees the whale into the ocean. And finally, we had All That Breathes. All That Breathes is a documentary on 2 brothers living in Delhi who have been trying to save black kites throughout, I think, the past 12 or 13 years or so. And now they have gained international recognition for their work. We also had a surprise screening on amphibians of Delhi. Dr. Robin Suyesh, who collaborated with the Wildlife Trust of India. So we they had made a special 10-minute short film on the amphibians of Delhi NCR and how Dr. Robin Suyesh is studying them and trying to conserve them. Fun fact, Delhi NCR has 8 species of amphibians. Our campus has 13. Rewild, then we also did a quiz competition where the quiz was mainly on wildlife, and the theme was basically wildlife. We had about almost 30 participants from different departments, and some of them actually knew more than we did. So there is awareness, and there needs to be more such events that we need to conduct. Coming to painting competition, it was conducted yesterday on the theme human-wildlife conflict. And then I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Clement. I think he's not here, but if he gets time, he'll be here, I guess. So he took the opportunity to judge the paintings, and we have our winners who will be disclosed at a later stage. And all the paintings have been displayed on the wall. You can check it out anytime. This is something that we'll be doing right after today's valedictory session. Tree tags. So any botanical garden you visit, any other institution you visit, let's say you're visiting IISc, NCBS, any other university you visit, you'll see all the trees in their campus. They have been tagged. They have been identified for the common people to know what that tree is, what its uses are. So we have taken the initiative. The Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences has taken the initiative along with Avni Nature Club of Pondicherry University to create and tag all the trees in the campus. All the trees is a higher number, but we'll try our best to make sure that people get to know what trees are present in the campus. So on the right top you have a template of what the tag would look like, and there's a QR code you can see. So once you scan the QR code, you'll be directed to a page. That page will give you the complete information about the plant, where it is found, what the vernacular name is, what the uses are, and what the conservation implications are. So we feel this is a very important step in creating awareness about plants in our campus. Like Achyuta mentioned, we have close to 550 species of plants, probably more if we try and monitor the plant species regularly. So yeah, so that's all for about the recap. Thank you so much.
Really rewild, because Sukumar is a wild man, I can say. He come to the university, so taken a very, very interesting, very touching moments. So I appreciate your efforts, definitely to make our campus itself become a very rich biodiversity hotspot in the future. I have seen the image, what was the campus in the previous years and what was now, and it is going to be a very rich hotspot. I appreciate all your efforts. Before I not taking much time, I wanted to share 2 points here. The number one is, see, when you do the wildlife research, you will have a challenges in actually taxonomy or biodiversity. One incident, actually, the world's smallest snake. The snake is known as thread snake, which is identified in Caribbean island, which is in actually London Natural History Museum also. The documents are available. So that was actually 2008. I know it was in the media at that time. The question is, see, they identified the snake. It is a size of a coin. So they identified, they named it, the inventor named it his wife's name. Okay. Then it was the media. The question is, see, Caribbean islands, the people are surviving there. They know the snake for a long time. So someone alien come to visit the island and identify the snake, and they are saying my wife's name. Now you understand me? So the nomenclature and ownership of the diversity or the species is one of the questions. Always you have to be careful while you are doing the research. Anything in the nature not belongs to someone. It is always nature. Number two, see, you are using the word rewild. I was reading the terminology de-extinct. You know, extinction, de-extinct. De-extinct means, you see, one example I will give you. Sometimes I speak about also, that is known as Mammoth Project. So if you Google it, Mammoth Project, so I am giving the talk on the Mammoth Project probably last 15 years. So it was started, it is Arctic elephant, we know the Indian elephant or African elephant. So they get the tusk from the archaeological site, only tusk is available. So 10 years time they took to isolate the DNA, now the genome is available. So they did a comparative genome analysis, they find only 3% difference between African or Indian elephant and what is called mammoth. Now the question is, can we bring back mammoth? If you read some news now, mammoth meat is available. Means they made successfully cell culture, they made the mammoth meatballs on sale in Australia. So the point is, once our technology is able to bring back mammoth, anything extinct today can be bring back in the future. But the question is, always it is survival of the fittest. The temperature will increase, something will devastate, something will be bring back. This conflict and survival theory continues. So with this, we also survive. We will also continue with what the amazing nature and this type of awareness camp week, and we will enjoy with the nature. Wish you all good luck. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Dean of Life Science, Professor Joseph Selvin, and HOD of Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences, Professor Sundara Pandian, and Faculty Coordinator for Wildlife Week, Dr. K. Sivakumar, and all the faculty members from this department and other departments, and students, and I could see HOD Earth Science also is there. Good morning, everyone. So it is really very happy to be part of this Wildlife Week, because all of us know this week we celebrate to give awareness to the importance of wildlife. So I have seen the wildlife history and also the importance of wildlife from the talk, the title Briefing on Indian Wildlife, Dr. K. Sivakumar, and also I have seen the briefing on campus biodiversity by Mr. Achyutan. And I also very happy to know that there are many events were organized, and it was also given the brief about this by Arita Bhattacharya, and there were many competitions regarding this Wildlife Week, and the prize distribution was also held. All these things we are doing it to give awareness about wildlife and the importance of the wildlife. Generally, human tendency is to the other, if you take the other species, generally they don't take much space other than whatever they require, and they don't eat much other than whatever they require. And they don't even save the food other than whatever they require. Even the space also they don't take. But the human tendency is not like this. The human tendency is there is no end for our luxury and end for our comfortness. And even if we get the disease by being comfort, we decide to go for disease, not to do exercise. This is the kind of mindset human we have. I don't know whether it is good for the environment or wildlife and ecosystem for our earth, but it is the fact. We have to accept it. But if the same humans if they have a good knowledge about wildlife and good knowledge about ecosystem, good knowledge about science behind this, and then the same person will take care of all those things. So in this way, the knowledge about the earth, what is really our earth was, how it was surviving for a longer duration, and how we are not taking care of earth in the name of development. So that is the main theme of all this, even your department also, ecology and environment studies. So that is the main agenda of this, and we are all doing research on this, and then we are all trying our level best. In this aspect only we are celebrating this, to familiarizing ourselves. And every knowledge, if you see, we are only gaining, whereas the other species, it is inborn character. So here, whatever we know the knowledge, it will be very useful. And when it takes the ecology and the environment, it is not the single subject. It also relates to many other subjects. You cannot teach even in 2 year or even 4 year UG or 2 year PG. It is a wide knowledge we require to understand the ecology, to understand the environment, to understand the wildlife, all those things. Because when we produce plastics, we don't know what is going to happen for the entire human, whereas even for their own existence, how it is going to affect their own existence, also we don't care. So the industrial development, when we go for the industrial development and business, so we generally avoid those type of things. When they advise, the ecology environmentalist advice, then we cannot stop it also. We cannot stop the business also. So for example, I always say this wherever I go, the diesel engine exhaust causes lung cancer. It is proved and published also in 2014. WHO announced this is the exhaust from diesel engine causes lung cancer. But still we are not able to avoid this. We still happily we are traveling buses where diesel engine is used. But one way we are talking about environment, ecology, but other way we are not able to avoid this. This is the scenario. But how to get rid of this? That is the big question mark. So that is where the real problem starts. Whether we can stop growth, or whether we will go back and then shed everything away, whatever in the name of growth which contradicts the ecology or environment or wildlife, whether we have to stop. So this is the big question mark exists. We have to accept it. It is the reality, and it's not only this. The even every industrial growth is definitely it affects the environment. But whatever we are using here, air condition or electricity here, we are getting somewhere the coal is burnt, and then we are getting the electricity. I don't know whether students know about this, but this is the reality, and for this we cannot stop using the electricity also. So this is the problem we have to take seriously, and the basic scientists and then energy scientists, they are working on it. So how to reduce the pollution, how to maintain the ecology, environment. That's what the SDS goals, we are 17 sustainable goals. We are thriving for this, we are talking about this. But my only big concern is the basics we have to be very strong. So when I visited the community hall when Madhimaran arranged this, I asked a very simple question: which is the hottest planet in our solar family? They said very correct answer. But the same thing when I asked with one of the faculty in the CAS, he could not able to answer. So I don't know how many of you know which is the hottest hottest planet in our solar family. Anybody from the audience? Pardon? Is it Venus or Mercury? Venus or Mercury? So since it is your field, can you say why it is Venus? Why not Mercury? These are the basic things, and students should know and understand. And once they understand, they will not leave as such in the lecture hall without switching off the fan, without switching off the AC or light. I see many students, they leave the lecture halls where fan, light is on, they leave the lab, leave the lecture hall as such. So it is not for to save our electricity. It is to save our environment. It is to save our ecology. So in the name of luxury, what are all the ecological disturbance we are all doing? We should understand. Even when we cook food, when we waste food, how much abuse we are doing it. Earlier we used to there are many issues. After the green revolution only we could able to get proper food. But still your environmentalists only say anytime we may have these type of problems also, like the scarcity of food, all those things due to the climate change. So human always in the verge of threat, whether any disease may come, whether any famine may come. So this is the kind of keeping us also alert and keeping us also in the knowledge arena where we can understand. But the wildlife and biodiversity and saving of this biodiversity, wildlife, flora and fauna. So it is we have to seriously take it further, because one side we are not able to control population, and we are not able to control our the deforestation. Other side, we are all losing many species, so we have to seriously take it further. I request all the students to understand the seriousness of the earth we are facing, and they say also Anthropocene era has come like this. So you have to be very careful. Your role is more now. So your population is less when it comes to the real business model, where the business is given more importance, whereas the preserving of our flora, fauna, preserving of our ecology, and preserving our nature, your population is very less. So in this way, you have to be not only for the degree you are studying, you have to also take it further to do research in this, to support this cost, and do research more on this. Seriously, take it further. So that is the reason we are all arranging this, and Wildlife Week. We are 1 week we have celebrated it, and I am really happy to be part of this. So my role again is to come here, support here, and encourage here. Rest is with you, how much take forward further, and how you do research and contribute to this preserving this wildlife. So with this few word, I thank the department for organizing this Wildlife Week, and I also thank the coordinator for Wildlife Week for nicely organizing and encouraging students to participate, not only your own students and other department students also.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor K. Tarnigrasu, Dean of School of Life Sciences, Professor Joseph Selvin, Head of the Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences, Professor Sundara Pandian, and Faculty Coordinator for Rewild 2024, Professor K. Shivkumar. Rewild National Wildlife Week Celebration 2024 was celebrated by Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences from 2nd of October to 9th of October 2024. We envied on various programs which came to a great success. The theme for the year is Connecting People and Planet, Exploring Digital Innovation in Wildlife Conservation. This gives us the need for conserving wildlife all over the world. Now, I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor K. Tarnigrasu, for giving his immense contribution in making this program a success, and without your grace in this auspicious event, it would have not been a success. I thank Dr. Clement Lutz, Director of Culture and Cultural Relations, for supporting us in all aspects and for judging the photography competition. I would like to thank Professor Joseph Selvin, Dean to School of Life Sciences, for his immense support in promoting our department in all aspects. I would like to thank Registrar, Pondicherry University, Dr. Rajesh Bhutani, Finance Officer, Pondicherry University, and Vigilance Officer for setting us up with all the permission to promote our public awareness and setting up programs in the public context. Now, I would like to thank Professor Yedla Venkataravu, Dean, Students Welfare, for promoting us in setting up the collaboratory programs with University Nature Club, Avani, and the Wildlife Week celebrations. I thank Professor Srinivasa Murthy, Honorable Head of the Department to Earth Sciences, for providing us this wonderful hall to conduct this auspicious function. I thank Professor Radhika Khanna and her team from Department of E-Media and Mass Communication, and I have a special thank to Dr. Robin Suyesh from Venkateshwara College, Delhi University, and Mr. Anuj Shinde, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, for promoting their insights on amphibian and reptilian biology, their conservation, and their thing to promote and confer how important they are to our ecosystem. Finally, I would like to thank all the faculties of Department of Ecology and Environmental Sciences, volunteers and research scholars from Department of Ecology and Life Science Environmental Sciences, and a special thank to all of my friends for involving in Wildlife Week celebration and making it a great success. Thank you.